I helped you when you asked me to. I learned French for you, and then you just blow me off so you can...
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the kisses that took movie characters and the audience by complete surprise. A spoiler alert is in effect.
Just like a bonus.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Never meet me when I'm sober.
Deal.
Number 30, Ronnie and Will, The Last Song. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth burned up the screen in this Nicholas Sparks adaptation. In it, a teenage girl named Ronnie begins to fall for a volleyball player and aspiring oceanographer named Will over a shared love of music. But his past with other girls makes her hesitant to commit.
I did not come here for some stupid summer romance with some stupid local boy that has done this with 1,000 other girls.
What?
When she brings her concerns to him, it launches them into an argument by the beach. Of course, instead of talking it through and letting it spiral into an argument, Will pulls her in for a kiss.
It was before I met you. How can you be mad about that?
Will, don't you dare make this about me. You and I both know this is not my fault.
Audiences across the world were kicking their feet in response. Number 29, Gary and Sunshine, Remember the Titans. While not as romantic as some of the other entries on this list, it certainly qualifies as an unexpected kiss. This 2000 sports drama tells the story of a newly racially integrated high school football team in the 1970s. Some of the athletes, including Gary Bertier, are skeptical of their new teammates' masculinity, and they make it known in no uncertain terms.
Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine.
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 Check it out, huh? That's cool.
Sunshine is unbothered. In fact, he has just the solution. He plants a kiss on Bertier right there in the locker room.
What do you want, man? You know what I want.
It didn't go over well at first, but it definitely broke the ice. Number 28, Lenny and Mace, Strange Days. This criminally underrated sci-fi thriller sees Ralph Fiennes as a former cop in a fallen Los Angeles who becomes embroiled in a conspiracy that finds him questioning reality. Angela Bassett plays Mace, a bodyguard who assists him and carries an obvious torch for him for the whole movie.
Have you ever been in love with someone who didn't return that love?
Yeah, Lenny. I have.
Throughout, he's been chasing another woman. They're about to part forever when he comes to his senses at movie's end. Mace has all but given up on him ever reciprocating her feelings when he finds her and pulls her out of her limousine and kisses her just as the new millennium dawns. It's a trippy and passionate ending that feels so earned. Number 27, Howard and Peter, In and Out. This raucous coming-out comedy finds Howard Brackett's life turned upside down when his former student outs him as a gay man during an Oscar speech.
I've been thinking a lot about this night, and I've decided to dedicate this whole night to a great gay teacher. Mr. Brackett, we won!
The only problem is Howard didn't even know he was gay. TV leading man Tom Selleck plays Peter, a reporter who comes to town to report on the story. During a heated exchange, Peter kisses Howard out of nowhere. After denying his sexuality for so long, the sudden show of affection puts a lot of things into perspective for Howard.
Everyone knows that. Everyone where? The little gay bar on the prairie? You know what you need? I need a wedding.
The kiss itself was notable. It was nearly 12 seconds in length, which was largely unheard of for a same-sex kiss on screen. Number 26, Hermione and Ron, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Fans of the books knew it was coming. However, even die-hard readers might have been surprised by how this moment turned out. The screen adaptation of this first kiss between endgame couple Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger is very different from the presentation in the book.
You do it.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Taking place mid-battle, the two destroy one of Lord Voldemort's Horcruxes just before it has the chance to kill them. Fueled by adrenaline and relief, they kiss hungrily in the Chamber of Secrets. While some fans argue it's not the agonizing slow burn that it is in the books, the movie still makes it a moment worth remembering. Number 25, Megan and Graham, But I'm a Cheerleader. In this cult comedy starring Natasha Lyonne as Megan, a high school cheerleader realizes she's a lesbian when she's shipped off to a conversion therapy camp. It doesn't quite work out. She meets and falls for an effortlessly cool girl named Graham.
You are who you are. The only trick is not getting caught.
How'd you end up here?
I got caught.
During an unsanctioned outing to a local gay bar, Megan becomes jealous over Graham dancing with another girl. Though she denies her feelings, Graham makes it impossible to ignore how much they like each other with a romantic kiss in the alley.
You want me to do what I want?
I could care less.
What I really want?
Screw you!
Even as Megan tries to rationalize it, it's no use. They're falling in love. Number 24, Eddie and Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This hybrid live-action and animated murder mystery takes place in an alternate 1940s Hollywood, where animated characters are real and live alongside humans. Roger Rabbit's zany antics wear on private detective Eddie Valent over time.
You saved my life! How can I ever repay you?
For starters, don't ever kiss me again.
But if you want to see how far the hard-boiled PI has come, just look at the kiss he plants on the cartoon rabbit at the end of the movie. It's not just a hilarious and surprising ending to their story, but it's also a seamless feat of animation and acting by star Bob Hoskins.
Does this answer your question?
It's hard to share a kiss with a co-star who's not even there. Number 23, Patrick and Kat, 10 Things I Hate About You. One thing about Kat Stratford is that she always has something to say. Whether it's a withering witticism or a critique of patriarchal ideology run amok, she spends much of her time on screen getting the better of everyone else. But in the ending scenes, Patrick's apology and gift of a guitar and a special performance by her favorite band is not even enough to leave her speechless.
You can't just buy me a guitar every time you screw up, you know.
Yeah, I know. But then, you know, there's always drums and bass and maybe even one day a tambourine.
She's mid-complaint when he reels her in for another makeup kiss.
And don't just think you can...
The funniest thing about it is that if Kat were watching this movie, she'd probably hate it. Number 22, Michael and Fredo, The Godfather Part 2. A kiss of death between brothers becomes one of the sequel's most iconic moments. Michael Corleone figures out that his older sibling, Fredo, has sold him out to their enemies.
Where did you find this place? Johnny Ola told me about this place. He brought me here. I didn't believe it, but seeing is believing, huh? I see it and I still don't believe it.
The Mafia Don confronts Fredo in public at a New Year's party. Instead of just punching him or having him hauled out and executed, Michael plants a vicious kiss on the brother's mouth. It's somehow so much more threatening and intense than outright physical violence.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
It also speaks to the complications of the situation. But one thing is for sure, from this moment on, Fredo's days are numbered. Number 21, Hey Mitch and Effie, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2. Fans of Suzanne Collins' books were probably just as shocked as anyone when Hey Mitch and Effie shared a shocking kiss in the fourth and final film. Their kiss didn't happen in the original novels, but their print counterparts didn't have nearly the chemistry that actors Woody Harrelson and Elizabeth Banks had in the roles.
Effie, don't be a stranger.
Take care of her.
From the beginning, their Hamish Abernathy and Effie Trinket had an uneasy, playfully contemptuous relationship that was ripe for an enemies to lovers storyline. The actors improvised the kiss, which wasn't in the original script. It worked so well it was left in the final cut.
She's such a pro, you know, so when we did it, it wasn't like just a light thing where we thought it was nothing. It was really like, okay, well, this is, you know.
Number 20, Peter and Gwen, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy definitely had a roller coaster relationship. At the end of the first film, he essentially breaks up with her to fulfill a promise to her dying father.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, but those are the best kind.
They're back together by the sequel. When being Spider-Man makes Peter late to his own graduation, he has to hurry. Thankfully, he arrives in time to receive his diploma. His excitement, in turn, leads to a spontaneous smooch with Gwen on the stage.
Sorry.
Sadly, the moment of carefree joy is rather brief. Shortly after, Peter is overcome by the guilt he feels for putting Gwen in harm's way. This time, she takes the initiative and ends things with him, leaving that kiss just a bittersweet memory.
I can't live like this.
I break up with you. I break up with you.
Number 19. Rhett and Scarlet, Gone with the Wind.
Kathleen, who's there? Who? That man looking at us and smiling. The nasty dog.
Love or hate them as a couple, Rhett and Scarlet are one of the most famous romantic duos in film. Their attraction is established early, but she has to go through a couple of spouses before they get together.
Did you ever think of marrying just for fun?
Marriage fun. Fiddly-dee. Fun for men, you mean? Oh, hush up. Do you want me to hear you outside?
You've been married to a boy and an old man. Why not try a husband of the right age? With a way with women.
They argue, flirt, and manipulate each other in a will they won't they romance that sets the bar for future movie couples, for better or worse. It's not until after the death of Scarlett's second husband that the former philanderer finally proposes to the Southern Belle. She refuses to take his intentions seriously, so he goes in for an unexpected kiss.
Don't, I shall faint.
I want you to faint. This is what you were meant for. None of the fools you've ever known have kissed you like this, have they? You're Charles, or you're Frank, or you're stupid Ashley.
Rhett originally wasn't really the marriage type. However, this embrace makes it clear that he's now serious about being Scarlett's husband.
Well, aren't you going to kiss me goodbye?
Don't you think you've had enough kissing for one afternoon?
Oh, you're impossible. You can go, and I don't care if you never come back.
But I will come back.
Number 18. Rosalyn and Sydney, American Hustle. It can be hard to keep track of the truth in this film about scam artists forced to work with the FBI. However, one inarguable fact is that Amy Adams and Jennifer Lawrence's characters hate each other. Since Sydney is having an affair with Rosalyn's husband, it's probably understandable.
You scare him, and you manipulate him, and you use your son.
Well, he must like it on some level. He must want it, because he keeps coming back for it.
What is completely baffling, however, is the smooch between these two fiery ladies. While they're in the middle of an aggressive argument, the unpredictable Rosalyn decides to end it with a kiss. In an interview, Adams revealed that it was her idea to mark the finale of the toxic conversation with the angry lip lock. It seemed like the perfect way to display the power struggle between the two women.
It's like the perfect exclamation point on a toxic conversation.
It totally is.
Number 17. William and Anna, Notting Hill. Who doesn't love a story about a movie star falling for a regular person? After they've already met in his bookstore, Will collides with Anna on the street and spills orange juice all over her white shirt.
Bugger!
God!
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Here, let me...
Get your hands off!
Hugh Grant is effortlessly charming as the awkward store owner who invites the stunning Julia Roberts' Anna into his home to clean up. Despite starting off irritated with the clumsy Brit, the incognito celebrity clearly warms up to him.
May I also say, heavenly. I just take my one chance to say it. After you've read that terrible book, you're certainly not going to be coming back to the shop.
When she leaves without a word, we initially resign ourselves to a slow burn. Well, until she returns for her other bag and thanks him with a heartfelt kiss. It's a pleasant surprise for the audience, and for William.
I'm very sorry about the surreal but nice comment. Disaster.
That's okay. I thought the apricot and honey thing was the real low point.
Number 16. Sydney and Clifford, Death Trap. When playwright Sidney Bruhl can't seem to create a winning play, he seemingly plots to kill and steal the script of his student Clifford. This is just the beginning of a twisty plot full of fake-outs and surprises.
Why are you burning it? There's nothing incriminating.
Still, I'll say I was getting rid of manuscripts as the Grim Reaper struck.
In one of the most shocking moments, a kiss between the two characters, played by Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve, reveals the true betrayal. The pair were actually working together to orchestrate the death of Sydney's wife, Myra. This revelation and the kiss between the two leading men definitely stunned 1980s audiences.
You opened up certain doors for me. And for that, I'm grateful.
Of course, that twist wasn't the end of the treachery. After all, it's a thrilling mystery, not a romantic comedy.
A trifle unsteady at the odd moment, but it has all the makings.
Number 15. Rey and Kylo Ren, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. You could say that the bond between Kylo Ren and Rey in the sequel trilogy was a tantalizing mystery.
A diamond in the Force, a power like life itself. Unseen for generations.
Were they related, connected mystically, enemies, soulmates? The possibilities were practically dangled in front of fans. Both characters push the other to change, but in the end, Kylo Ren finally turns away from the dark side.
Stand together, die together.
As Ben Solo, he uses the Force in a powerful moment to save Rey's life, proving that he's redeemed in the process. The kiss they share before he dies is just as confounding as it is surprising. Is it romance? Is it the joy of victory? The debate continues.
Then why?
Why what? Why what? Say it.
Number 14, Gray and Fritz, Catch and Release.
You're not who I thought you were.
Neither are you.
The excellent chemistry between actors Jennifer Garner and Timothy Olyphant is part of the reason this kiss is so compelling. An awkward encounter at the funeral of Gray's fiancée, who was one of Fritz's good friends, starts their relationship off badly.
Oh, Gray.
I never understood why he was friends with you.
The simmering tension between the characters makes a kiss inevitable, but the timing is definitely a surprise. The scene in question begins with Gray taking her anger out on Fritz for her fiancé's hidden affair. The kiss is born out of a moment of frustration at first, but it quickly turns to something more genuine. The intense reaction of both characters makes it clear that it's as much of a shock to them as it is to viewers. Number 13, Amy and Laurie, Little Women. This might be the only film version of Little Women where the audience ships Amy and Laurie.
So I might as well stay and plague you a little longer. You can bear it. In fact, I think it agrees with you.
Florence Pugh charms with a portrayal of the youngest March sister that moves beyond her just being a brat. The story also creates more time for her relationship with Laurie. Amy initially rejects his proposal because she refuses to be a replacement for her sister. When tragedy brings them back together, Amy tells him that she decided not to marry her suitor Fred.
I just didn't love him as I should. So we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to say anything.
As she explains that Laurie shouldn't feel any obligation towards her, he doesn't wait for her to finish. With one moving kiss, he confirms that he's loved her all along.
You look beautiful. You are beautiful.
Number 12, Sher and Josh, Clueless. Despite the fact that their parents were once briefly married, Cher Horowitz and Josh Lucas don't consider themselves related.
I went by Dad's office.
He is not your dad. Why don't you torture your new family?
Hey, just because my mother marries someone else doesn't mean he's my father.
Actually, Kato, that's exactly what it means.
At the beginning of the film, she treats him like an interloper and he sees her as a spoiled child. As the lonely college student spends more time in his ex-stepfamily's home, though, the two start to recognize each other's positive traits. Cher is a little, well, clueless, but ultimately she comes to a big realization.
Oh my god. I love Josh. I am majorly, totally, but crazy in love with Josh. But now I don't know how to act around him.
Their awkward avoidance of any hint at romance comes to an end in a quiet moment away from everyone else. They stumble their way through a confession of their feelings, and he kisses her, providing the ultimate confirmation.
Are you saying you care about me?
Josh.
They both seem pleasantly surprised. Number 11, Hannah and Jacob, Crazy Stupid Love. This kiss was a huge surprise for Ryan Gosling's womanizing character Jacob. He was firmly shut down by Emma Stone's Hannah on a previous evening. His smooth charisma didn't impress the logical law graduate.
I find you very attractive. Do you find me attractive?
She does. I don't.
You do. She does.
Yes, she does.
I don't.
You do.
You do.
I don't.
However, when her boyfriend offers her a job instead of marriage, she decides to try a little spontaneity.
You!
After storming into the bar, the fired-up lady doesn't stop until she's planted an enthusiastic kiss on the unsuspecting Jacob. It's unexpected for everyone involved, and the chemistry is palpable. It's definitely an opposites attract kind of moment, and thankfully just a kickstart to a more serious relationship for the couple.
Do you remember me? Still find me attractive?
Yes.
Still want to take me home?
Yeah.
Number 10. Han and Leia. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
You make it so difficult sometimes.
I do, I really do.
Following their victory in their first adventure, Han and Leia work closely at the Rebel base. However, their relationship is mostly sour as the two keep snapping at each other all the time. Upon being forced to escape, and with their lives on the line, Han's attitude toward Leia suddenly changes. While she continues their practice of insulting one another, Han begins to ignore what she's saying as he corners her, fulfilling the popular bad boy taking charge trope of the era.
Stop that.
Stop what?
Stop that.
While it's framed as romantic, Leia's total lack of interest before this point raises questions about how consensual the encounter might be. Either way, we certainly didn't see this one coming.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very nice.
Sir, I've isolated the reverse power flux coupling.
Number 9. Mark and Juliet. Love Actually.
Did you resist the temptation for surprises?
Yeah, I'm chill now.
At the wedding of his best friend Peter, Mark seems to have an unexplained dislike for Peter's wife, Juliet. However, it turns out that Mark actually has unrequited feelings for her, which Juliet learns in an uncomfortable moment. On Christmas Eve, Mark visits Peter and Juliet's place at night where he quietly reveals his true feelings. While it seems as if this might be the end of the matter, Juliet rushes up to Mark and kisses him without explanation. With Mark having had no hope or agenda during his confession of love, he's left momentarily stunned at this unexpected reception. Juliet seems to have caught herself by surprise, as the two let this exchange sink in for a few moments before going their separate ways. Number 8. Tony and Pepper, Iron Man 2.
Oh my god, I can't take this anymore.
You can't.
I can't take this.
Tony and Pepper never act on their romantic tension for the first 2 Iron Man films, as they bicker like a married couple instead. The second movie sees Tony distance himself from Pepper after believing his death is imminent before finding a solution. However, his following attempts to make amends don't work out until the film's climax. Having almost lost her life, Pepper decides to resign as the two begin arguing as usual.
I quit. I'm resigning. That's it.
This time, though, Tony doesn't bicker for too long as he goes for a long overdue kiss mid-sentence.
I mean, it's like the president.
Stunned by his sudden initiative, the two forget all about their problems as the kiss solves everything in one swoop. It's a big change in emotion as the two had only just escaped a near-death situation. Number 7. George and Lucy, A Room with a View.
My poor boy has brains, but he's very muddled.
As soon as they meet, Lucy and George's attraction remains unaddressed despite the two having chemistry that's hard to miss. After George comes to her aid during Lucy's fainting episode, their feelings begin to grow further, although neither acts upon it. This is why it comes out of the blue when George does pursue his feelings in such a forward manner. As it happens, Lucy stumbles upon a poppy field by a hillside where she sees George. Having no care or concern for their surroundings, George rushes over to initiate a passionate kiss that absolutely floors Lucy. With the two only just coming across one another in this scene, it appears as if George and Lucy are surprised at how their feelings overcame them. Number 6. Cage and Rita, Edge of Tomorrow.
Who said you could talk to me? I got something on my face, soldier.
You did. You did. Tomorrow.
Trapped in a time loop that only ends if he dies, William Cage figures out a way to beat the alien invasion with the assistance of Sergeant Rita. Having fallen in love with her, Cage devises a plan to ensure her survival, which doesn't work out as hoped. With death an almost certainty, Rita confesses her admiration of Cage and kisses him before heading off to her demise.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Neither one of us is getting out of here.
The kiss shocks Cage the most, as from Rita's point of view, they had only met that day.
I wish I had the chance to know you better.
As their fates are set to meet a certain doom, expecting this show of affection is the last thing Cage had on his mind, especially considering the icy welcome she gave him when they first met. Number 5. Claire and Owen, Jurassic World. Claire and Owen's interactions are hardly romantic for the majority of Jurassic World.
Mr. Grady, I need you to come take a look at something.
While she considers him to be roguish and he thinks her too stuck up, they work together to save the park after the breakout of the dinosaurs. The two seem to change their opinions during the ordeal, something Owen leaves no doubt about after she saves his life.
Is that Aunt Claire?
As soon as Owen realizes this, he makes his way to Claire and delivers a kiss that nobody would have seen coming in such a life and death scenario. It's clear that Claire had no expectations of this kind of show of appreciation, which makes all the fear and uncertainty of the situation stop for this moment. Number 4. Bob and Charlotte, Lost in Translation.
Hey, you.
Having bonded due to their mutual depression and identity crisis, Bob and Charlotte have a stern reality check when it's time for him to leave. This changes when he sees her by the film's climax, as Bob approaches her in the middle of the street for an embrace. Even more sudden is his decision to kiss her, as the two had had a falling out not long before. The suddenness of the kiss stems from the ambiguity behind it, raising questions of their future and if it means that Bob plans to see her again. For her part, Charlotte doesn't deny the kiss, leaving it up to the viewer to wonder where this sudden act of passion comes from. Number 3. Charlie and Maverick, Top Gun.
We don't date students.
After crashing and burning in his attempts to impress astrophysicist Charlie, Lieutenant Maverick doesn't seem to have much luck in reversing her opinion of him. The two spend each of their scenes having differing opinions that keeps getting in the way of any potential romance. After another argument, Charlie chases Maverick down for another confrontation, only to reveal her feelings for him.
I was afraid that everyone in that tax trailer would see right through me. And I just don't want anyone to know that I've fallen for you.
Maverick's response is to momentarily grasp for words, going against his argumentative nature. He then goes straight in for a kiss when Charlie herself is waiting for him to respond to her confession. Considering Maverick's loudmouth antics and need to have the final word, it's both heartwarming and surprising to see him admit defeat in this argument in favor of choosing his feelings. Number 2. Graham and Amanda, The Holiday.
She listed this cottage on a home exchange website and I found it.
Amanda takes a holiday to England to get over a breakup, but realizes the place where she's staying isn't for her. Before leaving, Graham, the brother of the woman Amanda swapped houses with, arrives in an inebriated state. The two form a connection, but the idea of romance seems out of the question since they've just met. While rom-coms generally build up towards the big kiss between its leads, Graham defies this trope by kissing Amanda without giving any prior signals.
Yeah, well, sorry and good night.
Sweet dreams.
Amanda's reaction is just as unexpected, quickly asking him to kiss her again as she welcomes their attraction.
Would you mind trying that again?
Although they had instant chemistry, the two giving into this attraction was far from expected at the beginning of the scene. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Penelope and Johnny. Penelope. Two characters recognizing and accepting each other with an unexpected kiss.
It's me, Max.
Name's Johnny.
I know. Johnny. I'm still me.
Alice and Michael, When a Man Loves a Woman. a surprising kiss that marks a new beginning. Nellie and Jack, Babylon. That one was Margot Robbie's idea.
Thank you. This is Estelle.
His fiancée?
Fiancé?
Aladdin and Jasmine, Aladdin. Since when do carpets play someone's wingman? Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Nicholas and Mia, The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement.
You can't just say something like that and walk away. I will have you know that I am very attracted to him.
Well, obviously.
There's an attraction between Nicholas and Mia right from the get-go, which is hampered when she learns of his intention to steal the throne. Mia still finds it difficult to fight her feelings, though, something Nicholas takes advantage of. At a garden party, he gets her to admit she doesn't love her new fiancé, as their argument begins to escalate.
I loathe you.
I loathe you.
Out of nowhere, Nicholas pulls Mia in for a kiss that she does nothing to stop, complete with popping her foot out as well. We know what that means. In addition to the kiss happening all of a sudden, their embrace is extended before Mia realizes what's happening. The surprises don't end there either, as the kiss rattles them enough to cause a tumble they won't ever forget. Which of these movie kisses shocked you the most on first watch? Let us know in the comments.
I've got to stab him.
One kiss, my love.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.